राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गिरिधारी राधे जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो। आज भक्ति विनोदा ठाकुर का सॉन्ग करती हूँ, यशोमती नंदन। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमस्तुते। भक्ति विनोदा ठाकुर की जय हो। यशोमती नंदन ब्रजवरनागर गोकुल रंजन कानन यशोमती नंदन ब्रजवरनागर गोकुल रंजन कानन गोपी मदन मनोहर कालिया दमन विधान गोपी मदन मनोहर कालिया दमन विधान अमल हरि नाम अमिय विलास विपिन पुरंदर नवीन नगर वर वंशी बदन सुवासा अमल हरि नाम अमिय विलास विपिन पुरंदर नवीन नगर वर वंशी बदन सुवासा व्रजजनपाल असुरकुलनाशन व्रजजनपाल असुरकुलनाशन नंद गोधन रखवाला गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर सुंदर नंद गोपाला सुंदर नंद गोपाला यमुना तटचर गोपी वसन हर यमुना तटचर गोपी वसन हर रास रसिक कृपा मोय श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर भक्ति विनोद आश्रय भक्ति विनोद आश्रय जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय भक्ति विनोदा ठाकुर की जय हो Translation. Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the transcendental lover in the land of Raja, the delight of Gokula, Kana, a nickname of Krishna, the wealth of the lives of the gopis. He steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kalya serpent. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Krishna is the Lord of the 12 forests of Raja. He is ever youthful and is the best of lovers. He is always playing on a flute and he is an excellent dresser. Krishna is the protector of the inhabitants of the Vraja, the destroyer of various demonic dynasties, the keeper and the tender of Nanda Maharaja's cow, the giver of the pleasure to the cow's land and spiritual senses, the husband of the goddess of fortune, the butter thief, and the beautiful coward boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wandered along the bank of the river Yamuna. He stole the garments of the young damsel of Raja, who were bathing there. He delights in the mellow of the rasa dance. He is a very merciful, the lover and the beloved of Srimati Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the shelter and the only refuge of Thakura Vinoda, Thakur Bhakti Vinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai ho. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai ho. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. So wonderful. Thank you for so wonderful seva. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Dandavat pranams to all, Charu Prabhu, Sharad Prabhu, and all the assembled devotees. I think Samta Mataji, would you like to do the recap?
Yes, Mataji, invocation prayers.
Raksha Mataji is already done, okay. But she did before she started the kirtan. If you want me to do again, I can do it. I think I can start the recap. Today's class is going to be very long.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. In the last class, we saw chapter 13. We saw the most very wonderful picnic of Lord Krishna and his friends, and seeing the picnic, how Brahmaji becomes bewildered and he goes and steals the friends and the cows of the calves of Lord Krishna, and how again Krishna manifests himself as all these, and how time passes by, and the bewilderment of Brahmaji, how Krishna acts along with him, we see in chapter 13, which is lesson 42 we did. So after Aghasur was killed, the boys were 5 years old, but they came and told about Agasur's incident after a year when they were 6 years old. This was explained by Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. So what did Sukdev Goswami? He starts with this particular episode of Brahma Vimohan Leela. So what did Sukdev Goswami tell to Parikshit Maharaj? What did he say? What am I going to tell you today? In reference to Brahma and Krishna.
मैं आए पर माता जी।
Yes, Mata.
हाँ, सुखदेव गोस्वामी जी ने कहा, लिसन परीक्षित, आई एम टेलिंग यू अ सीक्रेट। मैं एक गुह्य ज्ञान बताने जा रहा हूँ। कभी कभी गुरु जो होते हैं वो सीक्रेट भी बताते हैं। तो अभी आप बहुत ध्यान पूर्वक सुनिए कि ये मैं एक सीक्रेट बताने जा रहा हूँ। what he was about to disclose what in difference to Brahma and Krishna, the manifold and the impulsible wonder that it is not easy to comprehend by everyone. Therefore, it is said गुह्यम और confidential. ब्रह्मा और कृष्ण के बारे में एक गुह्य ज्ञान बताने वाले हैं।
Yeah, which is not easily comprehensible by comprehended by anyone. So then, after killing Aghasura, Krishna comes, brings everybody to the river bank, and there he praises the river bank and its surroundings. Why? Why did Krishna praise the river bank and its surroundings? Yes, Prabhuji, Radha Vinod Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah. So he wanted to create the next wonderful Leela. He creates a wonderful grass so that the carp can remain there and perform the next Leela. So creates the entire environment. I think that was a wonderful thing created by Krishna, so
Yes,
that he can facilitate, just to facilitate his pastimes.
yeah, to create a suitable environment for the picnic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Then, what did Krishna say to the cowherd boys? What did he
Well,
tell
then
them?
you
Like,
all might be tired now, so have the lunch time. Is that
correct.
Mm.
Yes, he said that we are hungry and we should eat now. And what did, at that proposal of Krishna, what did the cowherd boys think? How did they got convinced? They were worried about the calves also.
And Krishna says that he will take care of the calf so that they can have food properly.
Yeah, he told them that the calves won't go anywhere because of the grass. They will not go away.
Yes. Yes.
And then what did the cowherd boys do after that, once they were convinced?
Yeah, they had a lunch, they opened their lunch box, everybody bought, and they started enjoying their lunch. Krishna is being center and all, remaining in circular way and opening their boxes and, performing very nice pastimes of showing their flavor and taste to everyone, and particularly Krishna. Everybody thought that Krishna is looking at them only. So perform nice pastime at that place.
Yeah. So Sukdev Goswami describes like this the Lord Krishna's Bhojana Krida. That to add to your description, Radha Vinod Prabhuji, how did he further describe the Bhojana Krida? How was he seated? What he had in his hand? How did he?
Yeah,
Yes.
so I just mentioned that Krishna was at the center. Everybody was remaining uncircular. They opened their boxes, and the morsel up in one hand and fruit another. So
Yes.
Sukadeva Swami describes so vividly and so details about how they had a picnic or kind of lunch together.
Yeah.
So he
And
goes in much details. He goes in much details into that. Yeah.
yes. And this was being looked by everyone, even by Brahmaji. So now Krishna and his friends were engaged in eating. What did the calves do? Although Krishna told them that they would not go.
Hare Krishna.
Cow?
Hare
Oh.
Krishna, Mataji.
Yes,
The
Prabhuji.
calves also eating grass very nicely. There was a name, Mataji. I'm not remembering the name of that grass. Okay. Durvasa grass?
Dhruva, sweet grass, yes.
Durvasin grass, yeah. So,
Panchakrusha.
yeah, that
Panchakrusha, no?
grass is very, very highly tasty, Mataji. So, okay, cows started eating those.
Okay. And then they, in attraction of the glass, they went away. They went far away. Although Krishna
far away.
told them, and it also happened because of Brahmaji. He
Yeah.
made them go away.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji. Because of greedy of the grass also
Yeah.
mentioned, Mataji, in that description.
So Maya
Cow.
Brahmaji, they drive them away from that place. So
Correct.
Krishna's creation and superimposed by Brahma's. I think that is where we see that also,
Yes, Prabhu.
just to facilitate the pastime.
Yes, thank you so much. Then what did, so when they realized that the calves are nowhere nearby, they got scared. The boys got scared. Then how did Krishna comfort them? What did he tell them?
Can you be loud, Mataji? Sorry, Mataji, I missed that.
Yes, Prabhu.
कृष्णा ने कहा
Yes, Mataji.
जब ये सब गोपा सब घबरा गए कि अरे काव कहाँ गए, काप्स कहाँ गए, तो कृष्ण ने कहा आप चिंता मत करे, मैं जाता हूँ, आप सब खाने को शुरू कर रखिए और मैं जाके देखता हूँ कि वो कहाँ, इधर ही होंगे, आप चिंता मत करिए, मैं जाता हूँ ढूंढने के लिए.
So he said, I'll go to search, you continue eating. And with a morsel in hand, he started his search for the calves.
Amazing thing is that, let me add to it. In the left hand, he had this morsel of food, right?
Yeah.
And after 1 year, he still had the same food on his left hand.
Yeah.
That's a very important point to remember that. And then there is some significance to it that we will see later.
Yes.
Yes.
So then once Krishna
Because people might ask question that 1 year passed, and during 1 year they always used to go to the village, and of course they were eating and everything. So how is that food was still there in the left hand, half eaten? That's a very important point here.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji, for adding. Then once Krishna went away searching for the calves, what did Brahmaji do then?
Brahmaji hide them in Gokul.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah.
This is from
He
Japa group. Prabhuji,
kidnapped them.
Yes, kidnapped.
Japa, instead of Japa, some tune are Prabhu.
I think somebody's microphone is on. I think
Sanjeev Prabhu's.
कीर्तन ऐसा कुछ चल रहा प्रभु आपके साथ कीर्तन.
Thank you, Prabhu.
हाँ.
Yes, so Rajkumari Mataji, you were saying that Brahmaji?
Brahmaji hide them in Gokul, and actually Brahmaji wanted to bewilder Krishna. He wanted to see whether Krishna is Lord or a normal boy.
Yeah. And Brahmaji, why is it said Brahmaji is highly favored? Why is Brahmaji highly favored? On what account he is highly favored?
Lord's mercy, Krishna mercy.
Okay.
Because he was
Yes.
born from the navel, from the lotus.
Yes.
Of,
correct. Of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. That's why he is highly favored. Okay, so he stole and hid the calves and the boys in Vrindavan. Like a thief, he did that. How does Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explain this theft of Brahmaji? What does he say? While trying to steal, how does Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explain this? He says that it was Yogamaya covered the real calves and the the calf herders, and showed Brahmaji only those ones that were fashioned up, that was fashioned at once by the external Maya. This is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments on this particular action of Brahmaji. Then when Krishna is Krishna is searching for them, for the calves. He told the boys to stay there and he is searching. And when Krishna is unable to find them, what reason does Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami mention for Krishna's inability to find the calves?
कृष्णा तो जानते थे, बट ही वांटेड टू bewilder ब्रह्मा जी, वो जानते थे कि ब्रह्मा जी क्या चाहते हैं, तो उन्होंने जस्ट नॉर्मल वे में खाना खाते हुए इधर उधर देखा, थोड़ा सा उस वे में, जैसे कि कृष्णा परेशान है कि वो कहाँ गए.
Yeah, so he played along with Brahmaji's plan. But what is one more reason that Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami mention, that why was he unable to find? He is God. Lalita Priya Mataji?
They simply, perhaps,
Yes, Harsha Mataji.
Simply are looking for me because of my delay.
Yeah. Lord Krishna stops thinking as a God because of his immense love that he could not see them. He stops thinking as God. That is one of the reasons given by the Goswamis. Yeah, correct. And he then what he does is, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that he acts along with Brahmaji's plan. He shows him that, that he is astonished, he is despondent, and he does it very nicely. As a very nice actor, he does everything. Then finally, when Krishna is unable to find the calves, what does he understand? Like, finally, what conclusion he comes to?
उन्होंने तुरंत सोच लिया, जब वो नहीं मिले तो उन्होंने सोच लिया कि ये काम ब्रह्मा जी का है.
ब्रह्मा जी का है. तो अब तक क्या हो रहा था? उनका कौन सी शक्ति was not working, like was standing aloof? Lord Krishna's which?
इच्छा शक्ति.
Jnana Shakti. His Jnana Shakti was standing aloof because
Jnana Shakti.
Because Lord Krishna's Jnana Shakti saw that he was absorbed in the pastimes. So that power was standing aloof. And then when it got an opportunity to participate, it obliged the God. That is due to his Ichha Shakti. Okay, then when he does not find anyone, what do Lord do? They had to go home. So what does he do then? We continue with the story.
He expanded himself. Calves and the cowherd boys.
Yeah. And exactly how he expanded?
Exactly as they were before.
As they were before, in the exact number, in the exact bodily features, with the same appearance, with the lunch boxes, ornaments, same dresses, everything. So here, what did Krishna prove? When he expanded himself, what did he prove? Which statement is mentioned in the slide?
Aishwarya Shakti, Lord.
Okay, yes. He showed his Aishwarya Shakti.
Yeah, omnipotent.
Omnipotent.
Yes, the statement that is mentioned is Samagra Jagat Vishnu Mayam. Lord Vishnu is all pervading. So he wanted to puzzle and including Balrama, he wanted to puzzle everyone. Okay, then how does...
Yeah.
Yes,
Prabhu. Go ahead. Continue.
Then how does Lord Krishna, like once he expanded himself, then how did he enter Vrindavan that day?
एग्जैक्टली हर रोज जैसे वो आते हैं
himself.
वैसे ही एंजॉयली दे एंटर इनटू द वृंदावन।
Yeah,
हर रोज जैसे वो हंसते खेलते कूदते आते हैं ऐसे ही वो लोग ने अंदर एंटर किया।
yeah. The same way, like he
Same.
presented himself like controlled by the cowherd boys, and he commanding his calves and enjoying after the Leela, they entered how they normally do that, with playing games and playing flute and exactly the same way. And then what was not perceived by anyone, including Lord Balrama. So the whole year passed. The same activity went on. The same routine went on for a year. But what was not perceived even by Lord Lord Balrama in this entire whole year?
Yeah, two things are mentioned: how the cows were attracted to the calves, and the old gopis attracted to their gopas. The attraction highlight increased manifold. Also, many things are mentioned there. Even they had a new calf, but the old calf still they were attracted. As a Brahma, sorry, Balraman gets bewildered, kind of in the story, right? So attraction was shown more than their own gopas or calf. That's
Yeah,
what we couldn't see that.
yeah. But what they could not perceive is these are not the
Because of Achintya Shakti Yogmaya.
yes. This is Lord Krishna himself and not the calves. This was not perceived by anyone,
Yeah.
including Lord Balrama. Okay, so Krishna just entered as his friends, like how Sudama and the other friends would enter the house and they start living their life. Here they have mentioned some prominent friends of Krishna. Can you just name some of them? It was mentioned in the side.
Sridhama, Sudama, Subala.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when the cowherd ladies, they heard that they out of bewilderment, how did they react once that they entered into Vraja? How did they react on hearing the sounds of flutes and bugles?
They actually picked their boys up and they put them on their laps and then embraced them, like, and then they started feeding them.
And how did Krishna, as a son of cowherd men and the cowherd, as a son of cowherd women and the cowherd women, they serve each other during this time?
So they were all very fond of Krishna. So they were very affectionate to Krishna. So then they also fed Krishna. They took him on his lap and then they showered their love, as Vatsalya Bhava was, and it was tenfold than before, like more, like thousands of folds, like how you say that multiplied many times. And they were having so much love and affection for Krishna, and they fed him one after another.
But they didn't know it was Krishna, right? They thought it was their own sons.
Yeah. But they could feel that extra love because it was Krishna.
Same with cows. Their baby calves, and it was there, but they didn't know that it was their Krishna, But somehow or other, they were feeling great love. That was because Krishna is there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like the cowherd women, even the cows felt the same affection for their calves, and they took care much more of their children than before. Then how did the okay, this is already done. Okay. So coming back to the next session, to the next thing, the cowherd women had actually were facing affection for whom and why they were facing so. There's a word mentioned here. Their love was growing and growing. Why so? They used to love their children before also.
वो हमेशा ऐसे चाहते थे कि हमारे जो बच्चे वो कृष्णा के जैसे हो। तो अभी कृष्णा आ गए हैं तो अभी उनका प्रेम इतना बढ़ता जाता है, मगर वो मालूम नहीं है उनको कि वो कृष्णा है, मगर उनका जो भाव था कि ये कृष्णा, तो वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा सर्व करते हैं। अभी बड़े हुए बच्चे फिर भी उनको इतनी वो सेवा करते हैं उनकी, इतना प्रेम बढ़ता ही जा रहा है, हर रोज बढ़ता जा रहा है। ये देखिए,
Because of Krishna, their love was growing like a creeper. And it's mentioned, Snehavali. And what did Krishna do for this whole 1 year?
उन्होंने भी बहुत ही आनंद लिया सबको, और सबको आनंद दिया भी। सारे ब्रजवासी को भी उन्होंने क्योंकि उनका जो भाव था, उनको भगवान उन पे समर्पित हो गए थे, इसलिए वो भाव उन्होंने उनको भी दिया और खुद भी लिया। भगवान ने भी अपना जो वात्सल्य रस जो था, और सबको ऐसा था ब्रज भूमि में कि कृष्ण हमारे बेटे बने, तो सबको वो इवन काउ को भी इतना ही आनंद दिया, भगवान ने सबको आनंद दिया।
Yes, true, Mataji. He maintained himself by himself and he continued the whole pastime uninterruptedly for 1 full year.
Yes.
Okay, then when did Brahmaji got to know? How did he come to know? How did he understand what's happening? When did that happen? Sorry, not Brahmaji, Balram, Lord Balram. Just how much time, like before the completion of
उनके जन्मदिन के 4-5 दिन पहले ही उनको भगवान ने भी अभी लगा कि अभी बलराम जी को मालूम पड़ना बताना चाहिए, तो उन्होंने थोड़ा थोड़ा ग्लिम्स शेयर शुरू कर दिया बताने का। तो फिर बलराम जी भी बहुत सी मतलब बिविल्डरमेंट में थे कि इतना प्रेम, जैसे गाय जो है वो कभी भी ऐसे दौड़ के नहीं आ सकती, क्योंकि वो पत्थर वगैरह वो हिल के नीचे भागती हुई कभी आती नहीं है। तो बलराम जी ने देखा ये गाय को क्या हो गया, ये ऐसे कैसे आती है, और इतना आके बड़े उनके काव से जो अभी ग्रास खाते हैं उनको इतना प्रेम करती, उनको दूध पिलाती, छोटे काव को बाजू पे रख देती। तो वो सब वो देख रहे थे, ऐसे भी गोपा जो है वो बड़े गोपा को सब गोपियों इतना प्रेम करती है। तो कुछ तो उन्होंने सोचने का शुरू कर दिया था कि ये कुछ है, कुछ तो है। उन्हें लगा कि ये कुछ दूसरी कोई शक्ति है क्या, कुछ दूसरी शक्ति के द्वारा कुछ है। फिर उनको मालूम पड़ा कि ये भगवान की लीला है, भगवान ने बताया उन्होंने।
तो पहले उनको क्या लगा माताजी, पहले उनको क्या लगा कि ये सब क्यों हो रहा है, कौन है ये सब,
उन्हें
किसकी
लगा कि वो राक्षसी।
हाँ, he thought that maybe it is due to some demon or some beast. Also,
वाला है क्या ये?
हाँ. So even Lord Balrama, he thought that it could be this could be a demigod. Then what did he understand finally?
फिर उन्होंने लगा कि ये तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ भगवान की लीला है, कृष्णा की ही ये माया शक्ति।
भगवान ने बताया फिर ना, कृष्ण भगवान ने बताया उनको।
हाँ, बताया।
So one more question is, how did what was like when he saw all this happening, what was he wondering? According to the Goswamis, what was Lord Balrama wondering? He was wondering whether this is a magic, like this magic is like what is the cause of this magic, and where is it coming from, by whom it is being done. He was wondering so, and then when he starts thinking, what does he think first?
So also thinking who has entered Raj, what kind of Leela has entered.
And what did he think that these calves and these boys are first? Were they like demons? What entity that Lord Balrama previously think that these are? On what lines he was thinking? He thought that these boys might be demigods, or they might be like sages like Narada. Okay. And then what did, after that, like when he understood, what did Lord Balrama ask Krishna to do? He told him to explain him briefly, like how this, to explain the whole situation to him. And Krishna explained him, that is when he understood. And finally, what did Lord Balrama understand? The last sentence.
That he understood that all these boys and cows were only expansion of Krishna.
Yeah. It is Swayam Bhagwan's Aishwarya.
Shwarya.
And
Yeah.
yes. So with this, we end the recap of lesson 42. Now, Mataji will continue with lesson 43. Sorry, Archana Mataji, if I just took a little more time. I tried
No, Mataji, your recap was so wonderful.
please
I
forgive
missed
me.
many points which you have covered. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Over to you.
I will start with a short Mangalachari. नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं तारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्. So we're going to start today's lesson. Today, I think you can see the full screen. Today's lesson is lesson 43.
Chapter 13.
Pardon me?
Chapter 13, lesson 43.
Yes, chapter 13, lesson 43.
These are verses 40 to 64.
I'm a little bit confused with this.
The final verses. Yeah, go ahead, continue, Mataji.
Just a minute, Prabhu. I'm getting a little confused.
You're confused about what? Is something wrong with the slide? I hope
No,
not.
not with the slide, with my presentation. Because okay.
So when Brahmaji returned, what did he find?
Yes. No, because I was looking, I cannot see my slides properly. That's why.
You cannot see the slide?
I cannot see my own slide properly. That's why I was a little confused.
So let me read that.
Today I did some changes to my Zoom.
No, it's okay. Somebody else can read that slide?
No, I can read.
Yeah.
So today we begin with theme 5. Here we are seeing chapter 13. In the beginning, we are seeing Srila Prabhupada's summary. Srila Prabhupada's summary, Prabhupada is summarizing the whole chapter. He's saying how that for Brahmaji, you know, in the last chapter, he just stole the calves and he tried to hide them somewhere. Actually, what had happened, Brahmaji did not know this, that Maya, she had created similar like Maya cowherd boys and Maya calves, which was the ones which Brahmaji stole. Actually, he had not stolen the actual calves and the boys. So, but even then, when he stole them and he took them away to put them in a cave somewhere, hide them, For Brahmaji, it was just a millisecond. It was just a tiny amount of time. And then immediately when he returned back, according to earthly calculation, it was 1 year. So what happened, Brahmaji, he saw that Krishna was still engaged in the same way with his friends and cows. Then Krishna exhibited that all the cows and the cowherd boys are the four-armed Narayana form. And then Brahmaji could understand the Krishna's actual potency. And he was astonished by such pastimes of the Lord. And then Krishna, he bestowed his causeless mercy upon Brahmaji and he released him from this illusion. Because Brahmaji could not take that Aishwarya form of the Lord. So he was going on and finally he couldn't see anything. Then Krishna said, okay, I will cover this. I will not disturb you anymore. And in this way, Brahmaji became very meek and humble. And then he started offering prayers to glorify Krishna. So this is the beginning of the next chapter. So this is Prabhupada's summary of the entire chapter.
The second paragraph is also important.
So now,
in the same slide, the
yes,
second paragraph is also
I'm doing
important.
it.
Okay.
So now there were two sets of boys, right? And two
Actually,
sets
there
of
are three. Actually, see in the there I mentioned three. There were three sets, right?
Yes.
Actually
three. But in the beginning there were two. That is, third one came after Krishna noticed that the cows are missing. So in the beginning, Maya created two. That is, one was the actual boys and cows, and one was Maya boys and cows. So Brahmaji stole one set. One set he was hiding in Gokula, who was sleeping on his mystic potency, on his magical bed. They were sleeping. The actual boys, Maya had kept them separately somewhere nearby in Vrindavan. So in reality, there were three sets. Third set is what? The one which Krishna himself is disguising as the boys and the calves. That is a third set. And they were turned into the four-armed Narayana form by superior mystic power of Krishna. So he couldn't distinguish between the two. That means, now what Brahmaji is saying is those Maya boys and calves which he has hidden, and these four-armed Narayana forms which Krishna is showing as the calves and the boys. So now he's seeing two sets of calves and two sets of boys.
He saw the boys actually, right?
Yeah.
First he saw the boys and Krishna.
He saw the boys first. Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't see the Narayana form first. He saw the boys first. So now he's seeing the two sets of boys and two sets of calves. One is the one hidden, and one is the one which he's seeing with playing with Krishna. So he couldn't distinguish between the two as to who was real and who wasn't. So who was real? Actually, neither was real, isn't it? The one he is hidden is the Maya, and the one he's seeing here is Krishna. So there is the actual boys are hidden by Yogamaya somewhere else. Is it correct, Prabhu?
Yeah, actually what happened, Brahmaji began to wonder what happened. So he went back to check. Maybe Krishna might have brought...
that is coming.
So he went back to his place that they are hidden, and they were still there. They were sleeping, They were, of course, under his Maya.
That will come in the next slide.
Yeah. Go ahead, continue.
So now, why is it not?
Not going?
Okay. So now we're going to see the next slide here. We are seeing yet another bewilderment of Brahma. Truti anehasa. Truti anehasa means by one moment of, that's a fraction of a second, you can say. There was Truti. Truti means just a fraction of a second, just like blinking of an eyelid, like that. Atmamanena, by Brahma's own accord, versus Abdam, for up to one, Abdam means 1 human year. So 1 human year was his time arrival. So his arrival was very quick. Rajkumari Mataji, I think you're annotating on the screen. Please don't write anything. So His arrival was extremely quick because of great fear. Now, what is this fear he's feeling? Because here it's mentioned he's Atmabhu. That means he's born from Hari itself. He's born from the Lord itself. So Krishna himself, along with his Narayana expansions, he saw Sakalam. Sakalam actually means all the calves and the boys, but it also means Kala, means Krishna's expansions. And are these the same number? He's now counting whether these are the same number of boys and the calves which I hid. That bewilderment by my magic, they are hidden. Mat maya mohita itare savatsaha balaha. Balaha means boys, vatsaha means calves. So these calves and boys, mat maya, my maya, they have been mohita. Mohita means they've been bewildered. And these boys and calves are playing along with Kridanto, along with Krishna. Vishnu samam kutratyaha. Where have they come from? Or actually they have not. What is happening? Reflecting in this way, and he's remaining not too far from the illusory ones. So the ones he's hiding, he's not far away from them. So it's like with his index finger, he's saying dramatically, yeah, these are the calves. These are the boys. These are the boys who are already inside my Maya. They're sleeping here. Then what are those boys? From where did those boys? So Brahma was totally puzzled. So here we see Srila Prabhupada's purport. He's saying that the original boys and the calves are still sleeping as I've kept them. That's what he thought. But another set is playing with Krishna. How has this happened? He could not understand what was happening. Were these boys real or those boys real? Brahma was unable to come to any definite conclusion. So he was pondered for a long time. He was thinking which set of the boys, whether they were. So how can there be two sets of calves and boys at the same times? How can there be? Have these boys been created by Krishna? Or has Krishna created the ones lying there asleep? He was totally puzzled. Or they are both merely creations of Krishna? Then he also thought that if after I go to the cave and see that the boys and the calves are still there, and then by the time I come back, does Krishna go there quickly before I come back here and take them and come here and play with them? And then when I try to go to the cave, does Krishna take these boys and put them in the cave before I reach the cave? So Brahma couldn't figure out what's happening. How can there be two sets of covered boys and calves doing exactly the same thing, who are exactly alike? So thinking and thinking and thinking, he could not understand. So this is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. So, evam sammohayan Vishnum vimoham vishwamohanam swayaiva maya jopi swayam evam vimohitaha. So, in the next shloka 44, what does it say? Brahma became bewildered because Lord Brahma wanted to mystify who? He wanted to mystify Krishna. He wanted to put magic on Krishna, all-pervading Lord who can never be mystified. But what happened? On the contrary, the Lord mystifies the entire universe, isn't it? The Lord mystifies, or he does vimohita of the entire universe. Such is the Lord. And he himself was put into, Brahmaji himself was put into bewilderment by his own mystic power. So, what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is saying, that even Brahmaji, who had begun to bewilder the thefts of the cows, is trying to bewilder whom? He's trying to bewilder his Lord, he's trying to bewilder Krishna. Only just by his magic, because it was used towards Vishnu, Brahmaji was especially bewildered by the Lord's Maya. Now we have to see this. How Brahmaji was bewildered by the Lord's Maya. This means, although he was bewildered, only Brahma's offense, that means what was his offense? What was Brahmaji's offense? Because he was using magic towards the Lord. The Lord cannot be bewildered. You cannot put, like, for example, it's a very crude example, but it's like a small child who's trying to learn magic and he has tried to learn some cards or some magical cards. And you know, there's a very great magician, professional magician, and he's trying to show his magic trick to the magician. What will happen? He's trying to bewilder the magician. Can he do that? The professional magician can look through all his blundering and all his little bit absurd or the way he's doing his magic very, very childishly. Same thing happened here. Brahmaji is trying to use the magic towards the Lord. Lord cannot be bewildered, and hence it was Brahmaji was getting more and more confused. This is the reason. However, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this cannot be explained in this way, that Brahmaji was bewildered by his own magic, because his magic cannot possibly bewilder his own self, because its basis or his ashraya is because of the contradiction with this example in the next one. We will see what is this contradiction. The next verse is coming. But in this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that Brahmaji cannot be bewildered only by his magic. That means there has to be something else. And what is that? Krishna's magic. Krishna's magic. So we are going to see Yoga Maya. It is Krishna, how Krishna's magic works upon Lord Brahmaji. So here we see here in the beginning we see Shloka 45, that there are two examples are given here. Let's see this. As the darkness of a snow on a dark night and the light of a glowworm in the light of the day have no value, the mystic power of an inferior person who tries to use it against a person of great power is unable to accomplish anything. Instead, the power of that inferior person is diminished. This is the translation of the Shloka 45. Now let us see how it can be explained. Now, the magic of Brahmaji is being used towards the Lord. And who is this Lord? This Lord is the one who owns the entire universe and entire everything, cosmos, and he owns Mahamaya also. And another person who is a very insignificantly using his Maya on the Lord, it is unable to do these two things, which is Avarana or Vikshepa. We will quickly learn what is Avarana and Vikshepa soon. So Shukadeva Goswami is saying that I will give you two examples. So he first gives one example. One example is that the fog, we have all seen fog. When the fog is so dense, you cannot even see just even few meters away or few inches away. Even your own hand you cannot see sometimes if the fog is very thick. So that means it has a possibility of obstructing your vision, the fog. So now let us say this fog, this is during daytime. Now let us say this fog has come in the night. Now, does this fog, is it able to conceal the darkness of the night? If he thinks that the fog will cover the whole night and make the night covered by its darkness, is it possible? No, the night is all encompassing. It is everywhere, all over the place, and the fog is only one part of the place, and this fog is not able to cover the entire night with its darkness. Instead, what happens? The fog itself is adding to the darkness of the night. The night is becoming more dark, and what is happening? The fog itself is dissipating. The fog is losing its identity because it cannot do its function. What is its function? Its function is to create obstruction in the vision or make it dark. But the night is already dark and it is trying to dissipate. It is trying to do this magic of obstructing the vision, which it cannot do anymore. So what is happening? It loses its significance. So similarly, Brahmaji's magic of stealing the calves was unable to bewilder the Lord. It is like trying to cover the Lord. Is it possible to try to cover the Lord's vision? No. So instead of trying to cover the Lord's vision, he himself got covered by the Lord's intense Aishwarya. That means just like the fog gets covered by the intense darkness of the night. So like that, he got covered by the Lord's Aishwarya and only made his magic disappear. So he got himself confused. Now, which was what? Like that. So in this case, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that Brahmaji's magic is partly a cause for this, but he is not satisfied. So Shukadev Goswami says that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that Shukadev Goswami was not satisfied with this example. Which example? This fog example. Shukadev Goswami was not satisfied. So Shukadev Goswami says, let me give another analogy. Analogy of a firefly. You all know a firefly? What is that firefly? The firefly has a little light at the end of his body. So when it flies during the night, when it's dark, you see the light glowing and you see the firefly is glowing. You can see like a bulb glowing and flying around. It is very beautiful to see. But if a firefly thinks that my radiance which flashes in the daytime, in the night time, and it creates this vision, this beautiful vision, that my radiance also will flash during the daytime. If it thinks like that, and it's trying to fly during the daytime and trying to show its light during the daytime, is it possible? It is not possible. It's unable to become manifest during daytime. On the contrary, what happens? Everybody comes to know one insect is flying and it has lost its glow. In the night time, I could see there was some glow, but daytime I see it has lost its glow. In the same way, Lord Brahmaji's Aishwarya, he thought that my Aishwarya, that means I have this power of stealing the cars and the cars and putting them in the magic, putting them into sleep somewhere. That is my Aishwarya. But Brahmaji, when he tries to show it in front of Krishna, what happens? He gets himself lost in its glow. He just lost its own glow. That means, oh, what did I do? I just stole some calves and some boys and I put them. But here I see some super duper magic which is shown by the Lord. And Lord's Aishwarya is so great, like the day sunlight is so great that a small glowworm has got lost its glow. Like that, Lord Brahmaji's magic of putting the boys and the calves to sleep lost its glow. So in this, we are going to see that the third point, number C, is another's magic diminishes the might of a person who is using against a greater person. Just like I said, if I try to use a magic on a professional magician, he can see through every little small mistakes or little clumsiness of what I do, and he will definitely know it's not magic. But if he shows his magic, my magic will diminish. It's like that. So our magic of a inferior person diminishes in front of a magic of a greater person. I hope this is clear. Now we go to the two potencies of Mahamaya. Mahamaya's Avidya Shakti. Mahamaya has other Shaktis also, Vidya Shakti, Avidya Shakti. But we are now talking about Avidya Shakti. Later on, we will see the other Shaktis also. So these two potencies of Mahamaya's Avidya Shakti, is explained by an analogy of seeing a snake in place of a rope and how the Gaudiya acharyas applied it to Krishna's Brahma Vimohana Leela. So we are going to see this two. Please pay attention. This is a very important slide. We are seeing these two Shaktis of Mahamaya, Avidya Shaktis, Avarna Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. Now, what is this Avarna Shakti? Avarna actually means curtain. So Avarna Shakti means curtain. What does curtain do? It covers something, isn't it? Avarna Shakti means it conceals or covers the true nature of the rope. So at night, when there is twilight, when there's very little light, and then in your garden, you see there's a rope, but the rope is coiled and kept. And then what do you see? You see that it looks like a rope, but could it be a snake? So that thing is there in the mind. So what happens? These two Shaktis are acting at that time. Let us see what are these two Shaktis. Two Shaktis, Avarna Shakti. Avarna Shakti means it conceals the true nature of the rope. That means at that time you cannot see whether there is a rope, or you cannot see the different features of the rope. They are covered by the twilight. They are covered by the darkness of the night. So you can only see something is there. It could be anything. So you're thinking it could be a snake, could be a rope, like that. It is concealing in the true nature. But there's another Shakti called Vikshepa Shakti. It's Vikshepa Shakti. What does it do? Not only that it covers that, but it acts after this Avarana Shakti. What does it do? It projects the idea of a snake on the screen of the mind. Now you're thinking that is a snake. That is a snake. That is what you're suddenly getting scared of seeing that. So only if Vikshepa Shakti is active, then we can see that. We can see it could be it is a rope. Then again we see that it is a snake, because in the mind it has projected the idea of the snake. So now we are going to see how the acharyas explain this. At the time, Brahma's mind had the images of the boys and the calves, which he had hidden. So he had hidden one set, right? So he had in his mind those images of boys and the calves. But as a result of Krishna's Maya Shakti, that is Avarana Shakti, it concealed that image of Brahmaji. So Brahmaji was thinking, I don't think I successfully put them to sleep. Did I do that? Are they concealed? Are they sleeping in my magical bed? So that was concealed. And then Krishna's superior Shakti, that is Vikshepa Shakti. One superior Shakti is Avarana Shakti, concealed Brahmaji's magic. Another Vikshepa Shakti is superimposing onto Brahmaji's previously curtailed mental image with that of Krishna's Vishnu Murtis. That means actual these boys who are playing with Krishna, that mental image is put onto Brahma's, superimposed onto Brahma's mental image. So not only is he forgetting that he has put those boys and calves to sleep, on top of that, he's thinking that these boys and calves which are playing with Krishna, who are they? Are they the same, or are they Krishna's expansions? So this mental image of Krishna's Vishnu Murti is being superimposed on Brahmaji's mind, just like the snake and the rope. I don't know whether I've successfully explained it. Charu Prabhu, would you like to add anything?
No, you did pretty good.
Okay, thank you so much. So we go to the next shloka. Then
when we will ask question next day to the people, then we will find out whether they understood it or not.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. So if anybody has any questions regarding this slide, anybody did not understand, you can let me know.
Everybody is clear that this is a very important slide, Okay, continue, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Little bit clear. Yes.
Little bit clear. Okay. It will become more clear after we finish the entire chapter, because this is the beginning of it and this is the most important, but we'll keep coming back to this. Then while Lord Brahma is looking on at all the calves and the boys, tending them immediately appear to have complexions, the color of bluish rain clouds, and to be dressed in yellow silken garments. Oh, what was happening in front of Brahmaji's eyes? The calves, the boys all started changing colors. They started becoming bluish in color and they started wearing yellow silken garments. What was happening? This was beyond Brahmaji's imagination. So the next 9 verses, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, before long, the Lord spread his mercy. Now the Lord is going to give Brahmaji his mercy. Because without that, it is impossible for Brahmaji to see the Lord's Aishwarya. It's impossible for any one of us, or even Brahmaji, who is made of completely of intelligence. What are we made of? We are predominantly made of earth. So our body is mostly made of earth. So earth goes back to earth, they say. Right? So like that. Our body is made of earth, but Brahmaji's body is predominantly made of intelligence. So such a body also was difficult for him to grasp this. So he was confused. Which one is which one? Which one is it? Long time is keep on thinking. Krishna said, okay, let me put an end to your confusion. Let me show you what exactly this is. And Krishna is slowly showing his form in all these boys, covered boys and the car. Slowly he can see Pitambara, he can see bluish colored bodies. Brahmaji is getting all bewildered. But Krishna's mercy is along with it. So Brahmaji is allowed to see this Aishwarya of the Lord. Let us see how long he can see this Aishwarya. Let us see that. Then Krishna wants to show this charming glory to Brahma because Brahmaji had become so durbal, you can say, so meek and humble because of the confusion. He was confused. Have I made an offense? Have I created something offensive? Have I done this aparad towards the Lord? What have I done? He was thinking like that. In that confusion, he had become meek. So he had become subservient. So when he became that, Krishna said, okay, now I will take out your confusion. Okay. So in this way, so they were seen, all this scene. Now these cowherd boys who are now Vishnumurtis, who have become Vishnumurtis now, they were seen disregarding the unborn. Now, Pashyato Jasya becomes Pashyantam Ajam Anadriya. What is this meaning? Let me explain. Pashyato means somebody was looking. Okay. Ajasya, Ajam. Ajam means who was unborn. Unborn means actually Swayambhu. We say Swayambhu, or we say who was born by himself. Who was that? Ajam. Who is that? Brahmaji. So Brahmaji was looking, but he did not have the power to see even the Krishna's Vishnumurti forms. He did not have the power. The power of his eyes were not enough. So they means the Vishnumurtis, they disregarded Brahmaji's who was trying to look at them. Brahmaji was trying to look at them, right? But they disregarded his power of his eyes. And on their own accord, they became visible to his eyes. That means they gave Brahma the power to see them. Do we understand this? They gave Brahmaji the power to see them, Okay. The mode of being karma kartra means not that Brahmaji was looking at them by his vision, by his power of his vision. No, they became manifest in his eyes because of a manifestation by their own power. Whose power? By those Vishnumurti's power. Their power, they became visible to Brahmaji. They became visible of their own accord. And it is not that they were seen simply by Brahmaji's power of eyesight. This is given by Jiva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. They all agree to the same thing. So is this point is very clear? So
मतलब माता जी जो विष्णु मूर्ति थी उन्होंने ब्रह्मा जी को पावर दिया जो जैसे वो उन्हें देख सके, है ना?
Yes, correct.
Yes,
correct.
Like
So
Divya
next,
Drashti, na?
Prabhu?
It's like Divya Drashti.
Yes, like
हाँ
Divya
प्रभु जी,
Drashti.
दिव्य
Correct.
दृष्टि, right.
जैसे
So-
अर्जुन को भगवान ने विश्व रूप बताया तो अर्जुन अपनी आंखों से तो देख नहीं पाएगा ना, तभी भगवान ने उसको दिव्य दृष्टि दी ना, विष्णु रूप
Yes.
विश्व रूप
Just
दिखा
like
दिया।
Arjuna got Divya Drishti and he
Yeah.
saw the universal form, similarly, Brahmaji got Divya Drishti and he could see all these Vishnu Murtis.
So ये बताया ना कि कर्ता become कर्म, so he sees, but now he was shown that Sanskrit word, it's a little grammar is there. Before he was seeing his own eyes, right? But then that eyes became being seen, you know. That's what the meaning is here. See the karma karta before, so Pashyato means he himself is seeing, but then Pashyatam, he himself was shown by the Vishnu Murtis to see them, you know. So it's a grammatic things is there, but the main point is there. Brahmaji did not have a power to see that, but Krishna was showing that through his Vishnu Murti, all these things happening. Just imagine, anybody could be confused what's going on, So, and remember, Krishna did not get angry at all. Brahma is his great devotee actually, and Brahmaji is a great devotee. So he's showing a mercy to Brahmaji. Krishna did not become angry at all. He was not offended at all. In the prayers, when Brahmaji offers, you will see that thing comes again there. Continue, Mataji.
Okay, so we move ahead with the next two shlokas, 47, 48. So all those personalities, now there's a description of these beautiful personalities which Brahmaji is watching. All these personalities had 4 arms. They were holding conch shells, disc, mace, and lotus flower, that is Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, in their hands. And they wore helmets on their heads, earrings on their ears, garlands of forest flowers around their necks, that is Vajanti Mala. On their upper portion of their right side of their chest, there was emblem of goddess of fortune, that is what? Srivatsa. Furthermore, they wore armlets on their arms, Kaustuba gem around their necks, which were marked like 3 lines with a conch shell, like a conch shell, and bracelets on their wrists with bangles on their ankles, ankle bells, ornaments on their feet, and sacred belts around their waist. They all appeared very beautiful. This is a description of the Vishnu Murtis. So even the castes, even the cowherd boys, everyone became Vishnu Murtis. There were thousands and thousands of them, isn't it? Because we saw in the beginning, last week's class, there were thousands and thousands of cows and cowherd boys. So like that, they became thousands and thousands of Vishnu Murtis, and thousands of beautiful the lordships were seen by Brahmaji.
So imagine if you're in Brahma's shoes, how would you feel? Mind chakra jata hai na? It'll go.
His mind is totally bewildered, correct. So Srila Prabhupada's purport explains how.
So एक दूसरी बात है, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, everybody, especially Sharad Prabhuji and others, कभी-कभी, sometimes this, in fact, many times, acharyas' commentaries are very difficult to grasp. So when you face that kind of thing, go to Srila Prabhupada's purports. That will make things easier for us to understand the commentaries. Prabhupada himself is able to understand, obviously. So he explains it in easier terms than that complex terms, actually, So
perfectly agree with you, Prabhu.
Such a situation arises, then I directly show Srila Prabhupada's purport,
Yes. Yes, definitely. This is perfectly agree with you. This is what, because Prabhupada's commentary, that is purports, are so easy to understand. So easy to understand. So here, what is mentioned over here by Prabhupada's commentary is that all the Vishnu forms had 4 arms with conch shell and other articles, but these characteristics are also possessed by those who have attained Sarupya Mukti, isn't it? That means those who are in Vaikuntha Loka also have this. But then these forms are exactly like the form of the Lord. How? Because these Vishnu forms which appear before Lord Brahma possess the marks of Srivatsa and Kaustuba gem.
And that is what distinguishes
that is a special characteristic
from the others,
Yeah, this is the distinguish that they are not the Sarupya Mukti, they are not the Vaikuntha Vasis, they are the Lord himself. Only these are possessed only by the Supreme Lord himself. So this proves that all the boys and the castes are in fact direct expansions of Vishnu, the personality of God, and not merely his associates of Vaikuntha. So Vishnu himself is included within Krishna, isn't it? Vishnu is also within Krishna. So all the appearances of Vishnu are already present in Krishna. And consequently, for Krishna to demonstrate so many Vishnu forms was not actually very astonishing. So the Srivatsa mark is described by the Vaishnava Toshini as being a curl of fine yellow or white hair on the upper portion of the right side of Vishnu's chest. And this mark is not for ordinary devotees. It is a special mark of Vishnu or Krishna. So thousands of such forms were seen by Brahmaji and he was getting bewildered. But not only that, now you see further something more astonishing is going to happen. Should we stop for break time for 3 minutes?
Yeah, I think let's take let's people grasp this complex philosophy. You know.
Okay.
Give them just 3 minutes only.
Okay, 3 minutes.
So Mataji, in this shloka, Srila Prabhupada explaining that स्वारूप्य मुक्ति जिनको मिलती है उनको ये दो स्पेशल कैरेक्टर्स नहीं होते हैं, कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स.
बराबर, exactly, yeah.
और विष्णु मूर्ति जो अभी दिखाई दी है उसमें सब में है. So exactly the form of Lord.
So they are not just Sarupya things. They were all
right.
actually original Vishnu, like that, you know. Vishnu is of course an expansion. Yes. So basically Krishna expanded directly. So it's not showing the other, other devotees might be there in Vishnu Loka. So they have Sarupya, they have particular same form, everything like that, okay? Bluish complexion, forearms, everything is there except these two characteristics. So that is one important thing to remember always, that distinguishes.
Even प्रभु जी, शरद प्रभु जी ने बताया था लास्ट क्लास में कि जो लक्ष्मी माता है वो जो भगवान की सेवा करती, मतलब जो सारूप्य मुक्ति मिलती है जिनके जो है 4 हाथ वाले, उनकी वो सेवा नहीं करते, और वो जो भगवान होते हैं वो शेष नहीं, शेष पे शयन करते हैं. वो भी दो एक अलग से है कैरेक्टर है ना.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Yes, Prabhupada explains very nicely actually that. So directly I put Prabhupada's purport there, you know, and I admitted right there, I had very great difficulty to understand the acharyas commentaries in that particular. Whenever I have difficulty, then I show directly Prabhupada's purport, you know. Prabhupada explains it in a common person's understanding like that, you know.
Yes.
Same, he has that knack to make difficult philosophy easily graspable, you know. So that's what I'm telling you, all of you. Whenever you have difficulty, always go and, you know, read Prabhupada's purports, you know. Then you will understand the commentaries of all our acharyas. It's not like that but see, here in this book, the editors, I don't know, it's a editor's job also, should have made it easier. Anyway, let's continue. But the problem is that whenever you have, always refer to Prabhupada's purport, then you will understand. And something new things you will find out in this tomorrow's demo, the remaining verse that I'll explain to you, that you see that Prabhupada's purport, if you notice, explaining Brahmaji's prayers, the two things that is Prabhupada points out in the very first paragraph is missing there. In the way the commentary is being presented there in this book, actually, you know. Okay, let's continue. I think 3 minutes over. You didn't turn on this thing. Let's continue now.
Sorry, Archana Mataji, मेरा laptop went wrong. Something may happen wrong.
So that's why it happened. The yellow marks that happen, you know.
Yes, मैं उसको ठीक
कर playing around that. That
yes,
happened because of that.
Sorry, मैं उसको ठीक करने की कोशिश कर रही थी.
कोई बात नहीं,
मुझे नहीं पता था कि आप भी.
No, it's okay. I shared once again. No, now it cannot be seen. No, not to worry. Not to worry.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. So now we continue. We're going to see now some more.
So, and everybody, those who are listening, if you're not clear, Mataji will explain again. Okay, please be honest and say that if you didn't understand, at the end of the class we'll go again everything. Okay, go ahead.
So now we are going to see some more Aishwarya of the Lord and how Brahmaji is going to become more and more bewildered. Okay, so now we are going to see more description of this beautiful Vishnu Murtis. So every part of their bodies, from their feet to the top of their heads, was fully decorated with fresh, tender garlands of tulsi leaves offered by devotees engaged in worshipping the Lord by greatest pious activities, namely hearing and chanting. So this 49th shloka is telling. So here we have 4 acharyas: Sridhar Swami, Sanatan Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Jiva Goswami. What are they saying? They are saying that thousands of devotees. Well, how many murtis were there? Vishnu murtis. thousands, cannot be counted. So all these Vishnu Murtis were wearing fresh tulsi garlands. So you know how difficult it is to make one garland, right? Tulsi garland. So difficult to get fresh tulsi and make fresh tulsi garland. And they were wearing so many tender garlands of tulsi leaves, fully decorated, fresh leaves. And who were making this? Devotees. And these thousands of devotees, and what kind of devotees were they? These devotees were very highly accumulated all kinds of pious credits, and their love has increased to their preeti has increased. This is implied by, because thousands of devotees with their minds, and they have done this action of offering this wonderful tender garlands of tulsi leaves to all these Vishnu Murtis. So each, let's say there are thousands of Vishnu Murtis, there thousands of devotees have offered them tender garlands of tulsi leaves, and those devotees, those were engaged in worshipping the Lord by the greatest pious activity. What is that? Chanting and hearing and chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, they were doing for thousands of years, and such very great pious souls. Pious means we are not talking about the material piety, we're talking about this spiritual piety of accumulating the pious credits of Sukruti, of hearing, chanting. So hearing and chanting, they have accumulated so much credits, and now they've got this chance to garland fresh tulsi leaves to these Vishnu Murtis. Okay. Then next, these Vishnu Murti forms by their pure smiling, which resembled the increasing light of the moon, and by the sidelong glances of the reddish eyes, created the protected desires of their own devotees, as if by the modes of passion and goodness. Now, so beautiful this is. These Vishnu Murtis has beautiful eyes, and the corner of their eyes were reddish in color. And when they smiled, their teeth were very whitish in color. So now there are two colors. What color? Red color in their eyes and white color in their teeth. So red color is compared to the Rajas. So they are, Rajas is creation. Creation is connected with Rajas. So they were creators as well as they were protectors with Rajas and Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna is with the smiles. So the creators were Rajas with the reddish color in their eyes, and the protectors were the Sattva Guna with the white smile of their desires. Of to whom they were, what were they doing? Protecting and creating these desires of their devotees. Now the devotees are surrounding them. You should remember, all these devotees offered the Tulsi garlands, and some more are coming, I will tell you. And these who had so much, they have so much compassion towards these devotees of theirs, these Vishnu Murtis, that they are showing this by their glances, their straight glances, by with their reddish eyes. Their eyes have got reddish corners, and with that, and with their excellent smiling, which was white like moonlight, they are showing their compassion to these devotees of theirs. So beautiful. So all beings, both moving and non-moving, from four-headed Brahma down to the most insignificant living entity, had taken forms and were differently worshipping those Vishnu Murtis according to their respective capacities, with various means of worship such as dancing and singing. Now you see, here we are talking about all the characharehi, all these people, all this moving, non-moving, all kinds of beings, from the ants to the Lord Brahmaji, all the plants, leaves, everything, now they have taken forms. They have taken forms, and they were differently worshipping these deities. Because there are innumerable Vishnu Murtis, you need innumerable jivas. And those jivas who had perfected their lives, they were worshipping all these presiding deities with what? With dances and songs and many useful things. That all paraphernalia were there. Shadopachara puja was happening. They were offering with respect. Each was worshipped separately because of the variety of paraphernalia for worshipping in accordance with their respective qualification. So if I have a less qualification, I have less paraphernalia to worship. So this way, according to my stage of worshipping, my piety, my accumulation of pious credits, my form, what form I have, according to that, it was separately, each one was worshipping these Vishnu Murtis. Thus it is said that every one of these boys and calves is the god of each respective universe. We will see the next chapter, which is the 14th chapter. In that, we are going to see Brahmaji's prayers. So Brahmaji's prayers, one small prayer is connected to this verse, where Brahmaji is telling Krishna that I saw that each one of this Vishnu Murti is going back to each one universe. You understand? That means these thousands and thousands of Vishnu Murtis which we are seeing now being worshipped by so many people, these are going to go back to their particular universes. That means one universe each they have come down from those universes, and they're going back to those universes again. So they are actually in charge of one whole universe, like those kind of Vishnu Murtis we are seeing here. So we are going to see that in the next 14th chapter. So here we are going to see that they are going to be worshipped now by so many thousands of personalities all surrounding them. Not only this, some more. All the Vishnu Murtis were surrounded by, I will go to the next slide. These two slides are the same actually. All the Vishnu Murtis were surrounded by opulences headed by Anima Siddhi. Now, not only the people around or the people with pious credits, not only that, now Siddhis, now the different Siddhis are also being mentioned here. So they were surrounded by Anima Siddhi, by the mystic potencies headed by Aja. Now, Aja is different. Aja is Lakshmi Devi in this case, or Yoga Maya. And by the 24 elements of the creation of the material world headed by Mahat Tattva. So this is a little confusing slide, but you please note that this slide is telling about the internal energy of the Lord, Yoga Maya of the Lord, and also the external energy, the material world headed by Mahat Tattva. So they were also, so what is Sridhar Swami saying? That they were surrounded, these Vishnu Murtis were surrounded by potencies beginning from Maya, Vidya, and by the 24 causes of the material world. We know all the 24, right? We know the 24 elements of the Mahat Tattva. So they were all these, they all were getting forms. They were all these.
They were all personified, you know.
Personified, Anima Siddhi, all these Mahat Tattvas, these different 24 elements, they're getting forms. They got forms, and with those forms, they were worshipping those Vishnu Murtis. Mahat Adibhi is separately mentioned to signify the difference between Mahat and Sutra Tattva. Mahat Tattva means the 24 elements, and the Sutra Tattva is the Maya and the other Anima Siddhis and the Vidyas and different types of Siddhis of the Lord, that is Mahima, Anima, etc. So they are the Siddhis or the mystical perfections who are Aja or unborn. And Aja is also Nitya Siddha. That means she is Yoga Maya or she is Lakshmi Devi. Some acharyas say she is Lakshmi Devi. So some acharyas say she is Yoga Maya. She is Shakti. So they were all surrounded by vibhutis, the opulences, the forms of the potencies such as Maya, Vidya, Avidya. So now we see that the external energy also has different forms, Vidya and Avidya. So all these have now taken rupa, have taken forms, and now they are beautifully worshipping the Lord. Then this is all being watched by Brahma, you know. So then Lord Brahma saw that Kala, time factor, Swabhava, one's own nature by association, Samskara, reformation, Kama, desire, Karma, fruitive activities, Gunas, three modes of material nature, their own independence being completely subordinate to the potency of the Lord, they all had taken forms. They also became fully with form, and they were also worshipping the Vishnu Murtis. Unimaginable, isn't it? How can Kala, the time factor, and how can Swabhava and all these get forms? And Samskar Brahma was totally bewildered. How can they take forms and how can they worship the Lord? And how many more are going to worship? So the Kala factor with his associate Sridhar Swami and Jiva Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they say that The Kala, what does it do? With the help of its assistant, it is the agitator of the gunas. So the three gunas are agitated, and that's how the whole world universe comes into existence, isn't it? Before that, it is nothing. It is not active at all. So who makes it active? The Kala factor. He agitates the gunas, and the gunas are then Swabhava. Swabhava is what? Parinama hetu. That means Swabhava causes a transformation of the gunas. And Samskara means Vasanaya Udbodhaka. What does it mean, Udbodhaka? It's awakening the tendencies in the subconscious mind. So these are all complex terminologies explaining to you. But if you go to the Srila Prabhupada's purport of 53, you will see very simply described what is the three gunas. We know all the three gunas.
One minute, Mataji. So this is you see the examples, how I summarize long commentaries, which is something, and some redundancy also there. So in my PowerPoints, you should be able to learn how to summarize the main points and put it in a succinctly, so that easily understandable. And the main points the acharyas are pointing out, that should come out, So
Yes.
I'm just trying to tell you how you do it,
Yes,
because
yes, perfect.
otherwise hundreds of pages are there. Hundreds
Yes,
of pages
yes.
are there.
Perfect. We just have to pick out the important ones.
Essence,
Yes. Yes.
And the essence, you will be able to get help from Prabhupada's purports. Okay?
Yes, correct. Essence is we get help from Prabhupada's purport. Very good. Very nice. Very nicely described by
and
Charu Prabhu.
Prabhupada's purports, sometimes Prabhupada, see, at the time Prabhupada wrote the purport, ISKCON was newly developed, right? He had new disciples.
Yes.
Those disciples were entering. So sometimes he explains those people in his mind, he's addressing them, Sometimes some additional things he says, again, there also you need to filter out, But the way Prabhupada explains, he was trying to explain these complex things to those Western disciples who were never ever heard of anything like this. So to them, make them understand, Prabhupada puts in a very simple words,
Yes. Perfect. So this is what all these Anima, Lagima, Mahima, all these Siddhis and all, they were powerful potencies of the Lord, right? But they lost their independence because of the glories of the Lord. The Lord's glory was so much, these Vishnumurtis were exuding so much glory that they lost their glory and they became dependent on the Lord, and they took on forms and they started worshipping the Lord, showing their gratitude. Now you see you saw until now how many unlimited forms were there, all the Vishnu Murtis, and unlimited devotees are serving them. Each Vishnu Murti is being served by unlimited. So how much place it might have occupied, we can't even imagine, right? The Vishnu Murtis all had eternal unlimited forms, full of knowledge and bliss, and existing beyond the influence of time. Their great glory was not even to be touched by jnanis engaged in studying the Upanishads. So here we are being told about the greatness of the devotees, how bhaktas are so great that even the jnanis who are engaged in studying Upanishads, they cannot even touch the glory of this great pastime. So we are going to see that. So what did Sanatan Goswami and Jiv Goswami say? They say that although these Vishnumurti have form, and this form is Satya or real, but they belong to what? They belong to this material world? No, they belong to Parabrahman, which is of one essence because of not being made. It's not being made. Okay, on account of being the cause and the basis of the time factor, all the blinks of time, when the time, like when the Lord blinks, or you can say blinks, like a blink of time, they originated from the Purusha. So they are not made in this by this material energy. They are not made by Yoga Maya. So till now we saw what? Yogamaya made one set of cows and Brahmaji hid them in Gokula. Okay. And the actual ones were taken away by Yogamaya and hidden. Now, what are these? These are Vishnu Murtis. They are not made by Yogamaya. They are not Yogamaya. They are not made by Yogamaya, but they are Vishnu Murtis. They are Parabrahman. They are formed by the Lord Himself. That is at the blink of the time, when the time originated from the Purusha, that little moment, from that time factor, these little Vishnu Murtis appeared, and these Vishnu Murtis, they shine and they make everything illuminated. So we are going to talk about the real form. Real in the sense, actual real means real in the sense of Parabrahma reality. The absolute truth. Not just the truth, but the absolute truth. So here Shukadeva Goswami is saying that their bodies are real. The form of consciousness is unlimited. Form of bliss is unlimited. And they have ekarasa. Ekarasa means they always have one form because of the non-existence of separation by time. What does that mean? So do we have one form? No. We have multiple forms. And we are separated by time, isn't it? As Srila Prabhupada says, we grow from childhood to boyhood to youthhood to old age, and we are separated by this time. And with this time, all our bodies keeps on changing. But here, ekarasa means they always have one form because there is no separation by time. Alternatively, they whose bodies are Brahman are the form of Satya, absolute truth, and so on. So they are one. And I mean, these thousands of Vishnu Murtis also one. That form is mentioned in the Shruti. Now, in response to those who explain Vedanta, they never say that Brahman is seen or that it has many varieties. Why? Because Shukadeva Goswami is saying it is asprishta. Asprishta means not clear. It's not clear. To whom? To these jnanis, to these philosophers. They have learned Upanishads. It is not even possible for them to touch the glory of these Vishnu Murtis, these forms, even these pastimes. Because why? They have no bhakti. Because they have no bhakti, they fail to understand. So here the glory of devotees is mentioned. How the devotees can see. The devotees can see, but not the jnanis who are who are studying the Upanishads, who are engaged in doing that, but they are not able to see this because for them it is asprishta. For them, Shukadeva Goswami says all these varieties of the Lord's opulence, Aishwarya is asprishta, is not clear. They cannot see it. It is not shown to them. Shall we go to the next slide?
Yes.
So now this is happening in front of Brahma. So Brahmaji is seeing Supreme Brahman, whose energy is this entire universe, is moving, non-moving, living entity, all are being manifested. He also saw that at the same time, all the calves and the boys as Lord's expansions. So finally he is seeing this, that these calves and boys, they are the expansions of Krishna. And then he's saying, what does Sanatana Goswami say about this, Jiva Goswami? They say Parabrahman or Sri Krishna is the real and the form of consciousness, etc. that we saw in the last verse. So how did it become an object of sight by Brahma? How did Brahma see all this? So the gist is that it was revealed to him by the Lord. As Charu Prabhu said that he was given the vision. The Divya Drishti was given because of out of mercy. Parabrahman's mercy. So alternatively, we can say that the entire universe is shining in a special way. Now it is shining with what? With the opulence of karma, jnana, and bhakti. Let's say the effulgence of the universe. So, by nature of Brahma or Brahman, here, this is the nature of this universe. Since creator who is who? Brahmaji is the secondary creator, of course. By the grace of whom? By the primary creator, that is the Lord. So the Lord has given him the grace to create this universe, and Brahmaji has created. And since he is the guru of Sanak, Sanatan and others, and he's also the grandmaster of yoga, and he's also the guru of Narada and the father of Narada, automatically he has qualification, isn't it? He has a qualification. For this reason, the idea of, we cannot say that by luck or by accident he saw. No, because he has this qualification. He is so great. Brahmaji is so great that he has this qualification that Krishna, out of his mercy, revealed to him. Without qualification, Krishna will not be so merciful to show this kind of opulence, this kind of aishwarya to anybody and anyone. Okay. So then 56th verse says, then by the power of the effulgence of those Vishnu Murtis, Lord Brahma, his 11 senses jolted by astonishment and stunned by the transcendental bliss, became silent, just like a child's clay doll in the presence of a village deity. It's a very beautiful analogy where it's mentioned that supposing there's a village utsava going on in the village, and what happens then, one deity is being worshipped very grandly, very nicely. But to make the two things here, one is when the deity is being worshipped very grandly, there's another some nice beautiful dolls made and for decoration purposes. They are kept on the sides to decorate. So to make the thing even more grand, to make the event even more grand. But those dolls and all, they are not worshipped. They are just there for decoration purposes. And they are just silent. They are just silently watching. So it could be, it's mentioned in the purport that it could be this clay doll, or it could be that a child's clay doll, means a child has come to watch this and he is having a doll and he places the doll next to the idol, so next to the village deity, and the thing goes on. But anybody takes any care or notice of this clay doll of the child? Nobody. Nobody takes any note of that clay doll. So this is the explanation. What does Srila Prabhupada say in his purport? Brahmaji was stunned because of the transcendental bliss. Muhyanti yat surayaha. So this is the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam. We know Muhyanti yat surayaha. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti yat suraya. Tene Brahma Hridaya means Lord Krishna has, the Vedas were told by Lord Krishna within the heart of Brahmaji. Hrida means heart. Adikavaye means Brahmaji. In his heart, Krishna has explained the Vedas. So, who is this Krishna? Muhyanti yat surayaha. Mohayanti means he can bewilder all the demigods. That is his power. So, in his astonishment, all his senses were stunned. Whose senses? Brahmaji's senses. He was unable to say or do anything, like a doll. Brahmaji had considered himself absolute. He was thinking that he is a powerful deity. He is the only powerful deity, but now his pride was subdued and he again became one of the demigods. An important demigod, of course, but a demigod nonetheless. So Brahmaji is not supreme. So that's what he came to know. And Brahmaji therefore cannot be compared to God or Krishna or Narayana. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada says it's forbidden to compare Narayana even to demigods like Brahma and Shiva, and what to speak of others. So we cannot compare Krishna with any other demigods. So here Brahmaji, thinking that he was the supreme controller of the universe, tried to play some trick, magical trick with the Lord. And then he became stunned. And he became totally stunned. Stunned means to the point that he couldn't move. All his 11 senses were jolted and he was stunned. And also it means he got transcendental bliss. Srila Prabhupada is telling he is not only stunned by a shock, but he is stunned by transcendental bliss. Transcendental bliss also given by the Lord himself. When he showed his Aishwarya to Brahmaji, Brahmaji got transcendental bliss. He got this transcendental bliss. Although he became meek and humble, he became subdued, but he also got transcendental bliss. So Supreme Brahman is beyond mental speculation. He is self-manifest, he is existing in his own bliss, and is beyond the material energy. Then the Lord, he is known by the crest jewel of the Vedas, by refutation of irrelevant knowledge. Then, thus, in relation to that Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, whose glory has been shown by the manifestation of all the four-armed forms of Vishnu, Lord Brahma, the Lord of Saraswati, was mystified. What is this? He thought. And then he was not even able to see. Then Lord Krishna, understanding Brahmaji's position, then at once removed the curtain of his yoga maya. Okay. So now let's see what Sridhar Swami is saying about this shloka. In this shloka, there is a bewilderment of Brahmaji. There is the understanding of Lord Krishna about Brahmaji's position. And there is how Krishna is helping. First, he is showing Brahmaji with his power, all the Vishnu Murtis. Then what is happening? Brahmaji is bewildered. And he's so bewildered that at one point of time, he can't see anything. You know, if something like Vishnu Murtis are growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, and so many people are worshipping and worshipping, and the whole scene becomes so magnificent that Brahmaji can't see anything after which. That is understood by the Lord. That, oh, my devotee, he can't see anymore. So I have to now stop. So he pulls the curtain off his Maya. Sridhar Swami says, Krishna lifted Brahmaji out of his bewilderment by the curtain of his Maya. Why was he bewildered? It was about his Swarupa. Whose Swarupa? Krishna's Swarupa. His Swarupa, his nature, form, identity, whose glory is his own, meaning it's extraordinary and which is not within the range of logical reasoning. So we cannot reason and think that, oh yes, like this, maybe this much, then this much. Like it would be like a Kupamandukar Nyaya. They were thinking of a small well, whereas we are trying to logically think about an ocean. We cannot think like that. So like that, Brahmaji was lost in that small little palm full of magic which Krishna showed. So Krishna thought that if he got bewildered by this palm full of magic which I showed, I cannot extend this magic anymore. I cannot extend my Aishwarya anymore on this living entity called Brahmaji. Otherwise, he'll get even more bewildered. So he became very compassionate. So he pulled over this curtain of Maya and said, okay, enough. Now you need not see more than this. So here are the causes of his bewilderment. The Swarupa is a self-manifestation and his bliss. Swarupa of the Lord's different forms, his energies, and his bliss is his self-manifestation, and Brahmaji could not take in that much. Therefore, it is beyond material nature. So something beyond the material nature, Brahmaji could not take it in. And Swarupa is something, the knowledge of which is obtained by means of top Shrutis, primarily negating by what is not. Now, how is this Swarupa being trying to understand? So Brahmaji was trying to understand in the Aroha Pantha. So we have been explained about Aroha Pantha and Avroha Pantha. Avroha Pantha means taking from the disciplic succession. Some disciplic succession is coming down and we are trying to take it. Aroha Pantha means with our own efforts, we are trying to search out. So here Brahmaji was going in that direction. Aroha Pantha, he was trying to see, oh, the glories, the Aishwarya of the Lord. And how does a person obtain this knowledge by the means of Aroha Pantha? That is by neti. That means negating what is not. That means, okay, this is not, this is not, this is not, this is not. So keep on saying this is not until you come to the main thing. So this is their way of Aroha Pantha. Actually, we see that in the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna is saying so many things about the soul. it is almost like this Aroha Pantha, like telling, oh, the soul cannot be touched, the soul cannot be killed, the soul cannot be moistened, the soul cannot be dried up, the soul cannot, neti, neti. Sounds like this, isn't it? The Swarupa is like that. So if you try to approach the Swarupa only by neti, 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 it is going to be like an Aroha Pantha, which Brahmaji was trying to do at this time. But Avroha Pantha is the one which would accept. Then only we can get the actual knowledge. We can try to understand. This is what is explained. Here by Srila Sanatana Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami, they say, first wonder of Brahma was that the calves and the boys, etc., all of which looked alike the previous ones, and Krishna removed the curtain of his Maya. It means something, it makes something disappear. So this whole thing which Brahmaji was seeing, that was removed from his eyesight. And when he realized that Brahma was out of it, then Krishna's Swarupa is incomprehensible not only by Maya's Avidya Shakti, but also by her Vidya Shakti. So we learned Maya's Avidya Shakti has two forms, right? Avaranatmika and Vikshepa Shakti. So that, not only that, but her Vidya Shakti is that she will show you the real form. Avidya is trying to hide, Vidya is trying to show. But even these two cannot show Krishna's opulence. These two cannot show Krishna's opulence. So by Avidya, Maya blocked Avarana Shakti, the sight of Krishna from Brahma's eyes. Okay, but even by her Vidya Shakti, she is unable to affect his manifestation. Why? Because it is too much. It is too much for Vidya Shakti also to show to Brahmaji. Are we understanding? Avidya Shakti is hiding. Vidya Shakti is showing. But Vidya Shakti can show, but she cannot show to that extent which Brahmaji can absorb. She cannot do that. So therefore, Krishna removed this Maya also. Okay, don't have to see. Because you can't go beyond this. Is that clear? Do you want a break?
यस माता जी, यस माता जी. मतलब जो उनकी जो वो शक्तियां है वो भी एक लिमिट है, उनकी भी एक बियॉन्ड लिमिट, वो भी कुछ नहीं कर सकते, राइट माता जी?
Correct.
This is like, Mataji, Hare Krishna. This is like a Vishwarup which is there in that 11th chapter, Mataji.
Yes. Very much like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Arjuna also says, enough, I cannot see anymore. So,
No.
But in this case, it is loving Vishwarup. उसमें वो रुद्र रोष भरा दिखाया था ऐसे, मतलब 11th चैप्टर
फॉर्म अलग है,
उसमें डर गए थे.
फॉर्म अलग है मगर इंटेंसिटी उतना ही है. इंटेंसिटी, because of the intensity, what happened, Brahmaji could not take it, just like Arjuna could not take it. Okay, it was Raudra, but here it is Saumya, but still he could not take it. Arjuna could not take it, Brahmaji also could not take it. So at one point of time, they say, stop, enough. I cannot take it anymore. Like that.
मगर अर्जुन डर गए थे ये सब देख के.
वो भी एक ऐश्वर्या है. He was scared, but in not that way. He was scared in the sense he was overwhelmed by this form जो दिखाया था उनको. He was overwhelmed, just like Brahmaji also was overwhelmed. After some time, he cannot even see like that. You see, Yoga Maya was trying to show, right? Vidya Shakti is trying to show. Actually, it is mentioned in Jiva Goswami's Sandarbhas. In that, it's mentioned how Jivatma, once it is covered by avidya, so once the avidya curtain is removed, then the vidya comes into picture. So Vidya's curtain is what? Vidya's curtain is, she is showing what avidya was trying to hide. Vidya is trying to show. So when Vidya tries to show the Lord, the soul has the capacity to see, isn't it? The soul has to see, have the capacity to see. So the capacity to see cannot be given by Vidya. She only shows. Then capacity has to be given by Krishna. So Krishna also gives the capacity as long as the jiva can hold, after which the jiva cannot hold anymore. And then Krishna stops. Krishna says, okay, enough. After this, I will
So,
take away the...
Mataji, I can think of two more things. Like, जैसे Mother Yashoda also got to see the universal form, but उसमें capacity वाला नहीं है, because is that correct? Because she sees the whole thing, but then because
She is
of
also
the
bewildered, no? She is
Madhurya,
also saying,
yeah,
thinking, and suddenly she is starting to come to the Aishwarya platform. Immediately, Krishna stops because he doesn't want her to be in that form. He
in
wants
that,
her
okay,
only
okay,
in
okay.
this
So
form.
either
So
reason अलग
he
है.
stops. Yeah.
Then in Ishopanishad, we see the starting verse when the devotee sees the Lord, but he says that is different. He says that remove the curtain of this brightness so I can see your form.
Yeah,
वो फिर
that's
अलग हो
Brahman
जाता है.
effulgence. He is trying to
Yes,
tell
yes.
to
This
remove
is
the
the
Brahman.
effulgence, Mataji, na?
This is real
Brahman
Lord
effulgence.
himself. Yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, Brahman
Nice,
effulgence.
very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, very clear now. But then one can then say कि, if it is Krishna giving that, क्या बोलते हैं, Krishna giving that Shakti or tolerance or whatever that you call capacity to the jiva to see. So Krishna to infinite hai, so he can give more and more, no?
Yes, Prabhu, we
We
can
have
give
to have
more and more, but our
qualification.
capacities should be there.
Our
For example,
qualification.
I'll just give a crude example. Okay, uh, Krishna is giving fruits. Okay, and we don't have that basket to hold that many fruits. Then Krishna gives us a basket. Okay, Krishna can give a bigger basket, as big as he can give, and he can
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
on giving the fruits. Correct, but then we don't have the capacity to hold that big
To
basket.
hold that, okay.
Yeah,
हमारा
so
अधिकार भी होना चाहिए. Yes,
so
yes.
therefore, we have to try our best to, as much as we can, Krishna will give. That is why Krishna will reveal to us as much as we can. As much as we can, Krishna will keep on revealing. As we go, become purified, as we read more and more, chant more and more, hear more and more, we become purified more and more. We become more, just like we saw in this, how they became Shravanam by Shravanam and Kirtanam. The devotees became so much great that they could garland the tulsi leaves, fresh tulsi leaves to the Vishnu Murtis. Like that, we will get adhikar. Adhikar is gotten only after a lot of Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran and all that.
Mataji, we cannot see one effulgence of Lord because we don't have that capacity. तो वो तो बहुत दूर की बात है, भगवान को देखना तो दूर की बात है,
Yeah,
मगर
so
हम उनके
Krishna,
effulgence को भी नहीं देख सकते इतना.
नहीं, effulgence को देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Krishna will show himself in whatever form we want. Like Prabhupada said, Krishna comes in the deity form because we can see only that much. So Krishna, we cannot say it is not Krishna, isn't it? It is Krishna only. He has come in the deity form. He is Krishna only. So, but he has come in a form which we can take. So as we become more and more purified, Krishna can show in his appearance as much as we become purified.
Yes, Mataji, very true.
Okay, shall we continue, Prabhu?
Yeah, Mataji.
Okay, so Brahmaji's external consciousness was then revived and he stood up. Now the Maya curtain was drawn and now he cannot see those Vishnu Murtis and all, but he was revived again. He came back to his external consciousness. He stood up like a dead man coming back to life and is opening his eyes with great difficulty. He saw the universe along with himself. Now he is seeing actually what is happening. So what the Goswamis are saying? They are saying that Brahmaji regained his consciousness after that, and he then saw the universe and himself, and he began to be aware of himself at that time. So Srila Prabhupada says in his purport, explains that we actually do not die. At death, we are merely kept inert for some time, just as during the sleep. At night, we sleep and all our activities stop. But as soon as we arise, what happens? Our memory comes back immediately. Oh, do we think that main kahan hu? That happens in the movies when we get totally, our mind totally goes blank out. But here, when we wake up every day, what happens? Do we say, oh, where am I? What do I have to do? No. Immediately we return back. Oh, yes, this What is it called? This is called Supto Titha Nyaya. That means Supta means to sleep. Uttitha means to wake up. So Supto Tishta means we wake up, and that is a when we sleep and we wake up, it is something like suppose we die. Okay, die means that we become inert for some time, and then again we begin our activities. Like we take a sleep or short nap, like that. So in that nap or that sleep, we are becoming inert. And when we wake up, we again start our activities. So this takes place in our day-to-day life, daily as well as life after life also, according to our karma or activities, svabhava, or via natural association. So this was experienced by Brahmaji in that short period of time. He suddenly became inert and he suddenly became revived and he stood up like a dead man. He's coming back to life like that. Then looking into all directions, Brahmaji immediately saw what? He saw Vrindavan before him. It was filled with trees, which were the means of livelihood for the inhabitants and which were equally pleasing in all seasons. So he saw that beautiful Vrindavan forest when he woke up. Now, what does Jiva Goswami says? Shukadeva Goswami means to say that, therefore, out of topmost mercy, Krishna revealed his internal might of his Swarupa, and after concealing it by the curtain of Maya, which he made go away, that okay, enough. Now I don't need to see this anymore. So Brahmaji woke up. So now in the 4 verses beginning from verse 58, afterward there was a manifestation only by the topmost transcendental Swarupa, which covers all by his own power. That means, in this verse now that the topmost Swarupa descended, Brahmaji regained at once his sight of Vrindavan. What happened now? Krishna Swarupa Shakti is descending on Brahmaji, and Brahmaji is now able to see as before. He sees the beautiful sight of Vrindavan. No more that Aishwarya Yoga Maya covering him. So now he is totally back to his normal. So then Brahmaji's external consciousness then revived his. Okay, we did this 58th one, and we did the 59th one also. Now we do the 60th one. Vrindavan is the transcendental abode of the Lord, where there is no hunger, anger, or thirst. Though naturally inimical, both human beings and fierce animals live there together in transcendental friendship. This is the transcendental abode, Vrindavan, where you don't see all these things happening. So let's see what the Goswamis have to say. So the 60th verse, because the first 2 we have already done, the previous one. Shukadeva Goswami is describing the characteristics of Vrindavan, which Brahmaji saw. What did he saw? He saw that there was no anger, there was no greed, etc. And it was because of it was the abode of Krishna. Another example is that snakes, mongoose, etc., which have a bad enmity by nature, they were together. That means snake and mongoose, they always fight. But here in Vrindavan, snake and mongoose were together as friends. Humans, deer, and other two are all like friends. And this means their actions were beneficial to one another. The reason for this is Ajita, the Lord of Krishna, the Lord Sri Krishna, Avasa, his residence, Krishna's residence, Avasa, Dhruta, gone away, Rut, anger, Tarshaka Adikam, thirst, and so on. So because it was Krishna's residence, all these living entities, they were so friendly to each other and they were not showing any anger or anything against each other, and they also had lost their thirst, hunger, or anything or anything. So this is natural Vrindavan. This is how Vrindavan is because Krishna was there, because Krishna was staying. It was the house of Krishna there. This is the abode of the Lord. That's what Brahmaji saw. Then Brahmaji, what he saw the absolute truth. That is, who is without a second, who possesses full knowledge, who is unlimited, assuming the role of a child in a family of cowherd men and standing all alone just as before with a morsel of food in his hand, searching everywhere for his cows and his cowherd friends. Back to the same scene which Brahmaji had arrived upon. Again, back to the same scene. Krishna again, He's a cowherd boy. He's a small child. He's standing all alone. He's having the morsel of food, dahi bhat, in his hand, and he's searching everywhere for calves and cows. This is the scene which Brahmaji saw again. Now he's seeing Krishna in a different light. He's seeing him as the absolute truth, one without a second, possessing all knowledge. Okay, so Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami is saying Brahmaji had direct realization of the final aspect of all those ones, right? So he saw those Vishnumurti. So here's the final, here direct realization. So Brahmaji is beyond material characteristics because of the rise of Swarupa of Krishna, and Brahman is alone non-dual. We are talking about Brahmaji now, Brahman. So don't get confused. Brahma had a realization of Brahman. Brahmaji had a realization of Brahman. So Brahman is beyond matter, isn't it? Beyond material characteristics because of the rise of Swarupa of Krishna, because it's the Swarupa of the Lord. And Brahman is one, it's non-dual, Advayam. So in the second half of the verse, Brahmaji is realizing a particular pastime consisting of the quality of being under the control of prema of those who are near and dear to him, in which being Parabrahman is made secondary. It is understood that his condition as that same form was for the duration of 1 year in this way. So what did Brahma realize? Brahma realized that this beautiful pastime is Krishna is playing with his cowherd boys because they are so near and dear to him, the cows and the cowherd boys. Parabrahman feature has become secondary. So Krishna is now the cowherd boy. He is now the friend of these little boys and the cows. And Brahmaji understood that Krishna's condition like that was the same, and the same form with these Vishnumurtis for one duration of 1 year in this way. In this way, Krishna in the same form was playing with these calves and boys who were Vishnumurtis for the duration of 1 year. So Brahmaji made that realization. Now what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, he's saying that in addition, after concealing only by Yogamaya the condition of being four-handed and other things that are forms of the Swarupa which is the root of all the Swarupas, that were shown by it. It means Krishna Swarupa, by Krishna's power, by Yogamaya. So what is happening here? After concealing only by Yogamaya the condition of the being four-handed forms, these have been concealed now. Okay, and the forms of the Swarupa, which is the root of all the Swarupas, that is Krishna himself, that was shown in Vrindavan. So there in Vrindavan, Brahma saw Brahman. Vrindavan, Brahmaji saw Brahman because he now knows this is Krishna. So how was Brahman? Although he was a little boy in the lineage of cowherd boys, in the cowherds, he was a cowherd boy. And even after seeing the cows in the green field, even after seeing that his companions were on a sandbank to make Brahmaji think this is false idea, that my master is bewildered by me. That's a false idea, right? So it was upholding the dramatic act of not seeing. So Krishna was like a very dramatical actor. So he was trying to show that my master is bewildered by me. That thought of Brahmaji is not correct. Now I'm looking for my cows. I'm still looking, where are the cows? That is, it was holding the activity of dramatic gestures. To some unqualified person, the fact that Brahman is formless and sheer consciousness is substantiated by sheer ignorance as a result of covering only by Yogamaya. So for unqualified person, what will happen? They will think that Brahman, which is formless and is only consciousness and is substantiated by that person is substantiated by ignorance, then and what is the result? The result is that is covered only by Yogamaya. So thinking like that, it is like Krishna is trying to show to Brahmaji that I'm just a cowherd boy. I'm just looking for my calves. Okay. And Brahmaji thinking that, oh, he is bewildered by my magic. And that is false. That is what Brahmaji realized. That this little boy who is now acting like a coward, acting like a dramatic actor, like a cowherd boy, holding that morsel of food in his hand. He is not bewildered by my magic. He is not bewildered by my magic. That is the understanding which Brahmaji got. So after saying this, Lord Brahma hastily got down from his swan carrier. So he saw this, right? So he had already understood now. So he fell down like a golden rod and touched the lotus feet of Krishna with the tips of his 4 crowns on his head. So we know how the 4 heads are situated. Brahmaji is mentioned like that. So he was like, you could think that he was rolling his head so that the tips of his Prasad Prabhu, please.
Sorry, Mataji. Something happened actually. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. Because you are not eating. That's why.
It's okay. Continue. It's almost we are 10 minutes beyond, right? Let's conclude now, okay?
And offering his obeisances, he bathed the feet of Krishna with waters of the tears of his joy. So how did Brahmaji bow down on the ground with both his feet? So his conceitness of being a god vanished, because gods don't touch the ground. He touched the ground just a little, because it's going to be said, may I have the profuse good fortune by which I have some birth in this forest. So he was wishing to be even a straw or a grass or a bunch of clump of grass being born here in Vrindavan. So touching the pair of the feet, Krishna's feet, the tip of his 4 crowns, it is said because his four foreheads, they fell on the ground by turning around in sequence. So he had like 4 heads. So one by one he was touching Krishna's feet. And an infinite number of tears, he was washing Krishna's feet. He was rising and falling again and again at the lotus feet of Krishna for a long time. And Brahmaji remembered over and over the Lord's greatness he had just seen. So that Aishwarya was still in his mind and he remembered it. And he was falling, rising and falling again and again. He kept on getting up and falling again for a long time. And the reason for falling at his feet is glory. But the reason for getting up is the desire to behold his divine face. So I think this is the last slide. So then rising very gradually and wiping his 2 tears, Brahmaji looked up at Mukunda, and Lord Brahma, his head bent low, his mind concentrated and his body trembling very humbly, began with faltering words to offer praises to Lord Krishna. So Brahma was now, he could not stop offering obeisances. And so much of bhakti was rising in his heart. And because of that, or was it because of numbness occurring naturally by the overpowering of an abundance of prema? So he didn't know what was the reason, but he was totally bewildered. So Lochane Vimrijya Mukundam, wiping his 2 eyes at Mukunda is due to his inability to see properly because of the flow of trickling tears. He couldn't see Krishna properly. And though he had 8 eyes, the mention of 2 eyes is in consideration of face to face with the Lord, because his 2 other faces are on the side and back. So the one which is face to face with the Lord was trickling and he was trying to wipe his eyes. Though there is a meaning of being giver of liberation, mukti is agreed upon in the sense of bhakti too, afterward having a neck bent in a special way due to shame, fear, and so on. So it's understood that on account of Brahma's special bhakti, Krishna had abandoned roaming, which was mostly to search for the calves and boys, and remained on one spot. By samahitaha, collected, and by the characteristic of an affluence of prema, as topmost correct manner of a praise is implied. So here we see the condensed prema of Brahmaji towards Krishna, and because of which Krishna offered him special attention, where he stopped roaming around searching for the cows and boys, remained in one spot and gave him special darshan. So next week we will talk about the prayers of Lord Brahmaji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. It was very nicely done.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for all your inputs.
Yeah, let the others digest this philosophy. deep philosophy. So,
Yeah,
any
deep
questions,
philosophy.
comments?
It's not a question, Prabhuji, Mataji. I think this is the first time I'm hearing the Aishwarya Baba of Krishna so much. Okay, so much in it's a highest state or something like that. At least I heard. Okay, till now. Yeah, even Brahma is completely amazed. That's all, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
I
Prabhu.
think I think in this particular PPT you have highlighted so few things in a very red color. Okay.
Just Sanskrit words particularly,
Sanskrit
because
words.
otherwise it will get
Even
intermingled. The same color is used, black
yeah,
color, because
yeah.
each of the Sanskrit words carried special meaning, you know.
Hmm.
That's the reason.
Yeah, that is also highlighting very clearly. So in future also could refer Prabhu easily. Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
That is one observation. Yeah, nice Prabhu.
See, when I was preparing this thing, I also went into that kind of emotion, you know. Um, it was just, I was stunned myself, you know, when I was preparing for this.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम. So wonderful class, माताजी.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Really it is so, भगवान का ऐश्वर्य शक्ति आज बहुत अच्छे से देखा हम भी तूने. इट इज रियली अमेजिंग कि क्या हमारे कृष्णा क्या है. Really.
वो अपने भक्तों के लिए क्या नहीं कर
We
सकते भगवान.
are so blessed. We are also blessed also कि हमें ये सब समझने का मौका मिल रहा है चारू प्रभु जी की पीपीटी द्वारा, हमारे क्लास के द्वारा. रियली वी आर सो फॉर्चुनेट प्रभु जी. और रत्ना माता जी आपने बहुत अच्छे से सब जो भी कॉम्प्लेक्स है उसको बहुत अच्छे से समझा दिया, तो हमारा वो माइंड में थोड़ा क्लियर हो गया समझना.
Thank you, Mataji.
थैंक यू
Thank you so much. All goes to Prabhupada. All goes to
Yes, yes.
Charu Prabhu for his wonderful slides.
Thank you, Mataji. Very wonderful explanation.
Mataji. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
बीच में आपको डिस्टर्ब किया जरूर, बट वो
No, no, no.
unknowingly.
I just
Unknowingly, Mataji. I don't know.
no, no. I
But
just I don't know.
ना आपने डिस्टर्ब कोई बात नहीं किया वो, मगर I cannot understand. Prasad, you may be able to explain how we don't have access to the screen. How does marking comes, you know, from our side, you know, because she was showing her screen and her screen that showed mark. I could never understand why that happened.
Because annotating is allowed, Prabhu. Annotating
Yes,
is
yes.
allowed.
Annotating is allowed by someone else, Prabhu. Actually, I was just to some reason annotation opened, and I was just moving that particular slide for myself, reading it. Okay, so in that way, that annotation is passed through. That's why.
I see. Yeah, I see. Okay.
माता जी वो पॉइंट बहुत ही क्लियर हुआ कि ब्रह्मा जी ने सोचा कि मैं भगवान को थोड़ी मेरी शक्ति दिखा दूं, मेरी माया शक्ति दिखा दूं. उन्होंने ऐसा सोचा और भगवान ने उसको अपनी माया शक्ति इतना अच्छा ऐश्वर्य दिखाया. मतलब इट इज रियली.
क्वेश्चन क्या है कि रक्षा माता जी बात है कि उस टाइम इसको ये नहीं पता ब्रह्मा जी कि ये भगवान साक्षात है. वो टेस्ट करना चाहते हैं कि ये लड़का है,
यस यस,
ये लड़का भगवान है कि नहीं. तो वो उसके लिए टेस्ट करने के लिए वो सोच रहे थे मैं इसको अपनी शक्ति बताऊं. तो बाद में इन्हें पता चलता है कि इसको पता चले खुद को कि ये कौन भगवान है कि ऑर्डर ये लड़का है ना, इसके ये बताने के लिए.
मगर हम्बलनेस, कितनी हम्बलनेस दिखाई ब्रह्मा जी भी. रियली
ब्रह्मा जी
वी हैव
has
टू
a
लर्न
special
दिस.
qualification, very special qualification. Yes, he is a great devotee of the Lord, you know. And तो भगवान को कोई गुस्सा जरा भी नहीं आया. He never got angry at all.
हाँ, सच्ची बात.
तो भगवान के हर एक हृदय में बसते हैं ना. He knew about Brahmaji's heart. He did it very innocently. He did all these things, you know. And भगवान उसके he enjoyed actually that. अपने भक्त की ये बात होती है ना, तो भगवान भी enjoys, you know.
No, he was very merciful to Brahma.
और सारे ब्रह्मांड के विष्णु भगवान की सेवा में हाजिर हो गए. इट इज सो अमेजिंग प्रभु जी. इतने अनंत
He
कोटि
is a-
वैकुंठ लोक के सारे विष्णु आ गए भगवान की सेवा में.
he is the Sarvottam, you know.
Yes, सर्वोत्तम.
Any other question before we turn it over to Sharad Prabhuji? He's very patiently, very quietly watching us. Sharad Prabhuji, you want to make some comments? Mataji, Sharad Prabhuji, your mic is mute.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Just everything has been explained in very, very great detail. Just two, three things. Raksha Mataji was talking about the effulgence, the spiritual effulgence. It is a mercy of the Supreme Lord that we do not come, we cannot see that effulgence, because that effulgence, it comprises of the power of hundreds and thousands of suns. That means light is so much that if we are able to see it, we will straightaway become blind. That's why it is Lord's mercy that unless we are given divine eyes, we cannot see that. That's what in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna did to Arjuna. He bestowed the divine eyes, and with that, he could see the Supreme Lord, his universal form. Then another very interesting thing about Kaustubha money, which we are talking today. Kaustubha money that is only found in Lord Krishna or Vishnu only. But how it is won? There is no hole is made in the Kaustubha money. No string or anything else is required for that. Actually, how did the Kaustubha money came? When it came out during the Samudra Manthan, everybody tried, but they could not lift this Kaustubha money. Then, after everybody tried, Kaustubha money by itself came and came to Vishnu. That means it is so special that for wearing it as a necklace, and there is no requirement of a string or anything like that. That is the speciality, and as we know, it is only with Vishnu. And here in this story, it was with all the Vishnu forms. Then next we spoke about we are talking about how Brahma was totally mystified. Brahma was totally amazed to see the Aishwarya of the Lord Krishna. He could not understand what he was seeing, and then he was not even able to see it. And when Krishna understood this position of Brahma, he removed the Yogamaya covering. And here, please remember that Sukhdev Goswami, he describes Brahma as Iresa. Iresa means Ira means Saraswati, and the husband of Saraswati is Iresa. That is the husband of the goddess of learning. And Brahma, therefore, we know that he is most intelligent. But with this intelligence, he was not able to understand Lord Krishna. Rather, nobody with any intelligence will be able to understand Krishna. Although he tried his best, he was not successful. And in the beginning, the boys, the cubs, and Krishna himself had been covered by Yogamaya, which later displayed the second set of cubs and boys who were Krishna's expansions, and which then displayed the four-armed forms of the Vishnu forms. Now, seeing Brahma's bewilderment, Lord Krishna caused the disappearance of Yogamaya. One may think that Maya takes away Krishna was Mahamaya, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur he says that it was Yogamaya, the potency by which the Supreme Lord Krishna is sometimes manifest and sometimes he is not manifest. The potency which covers the actual reality and displays something unreal is Mahamaya. But the potency by which the absolute truth is sometimes manifest and sometimes it is not manifest, it is known as Yogamaya. Therefore, in this verse, the word aja refers to Yogamaya, what Mataji was explaining very nicely. So, this is the difference between the Yogamaya and Mahamaya. And Krishna's energy is Maya Shakti or Swarupa Shakti is one, but it is also manifested in many varieties. And the difference between Vaishnavas and the Mayavadis is that Mayavadis say that Maya is one, whereas Vaishnava recognizes its varieties. There is unity in variety. For example, in one tree, there are varieties of leaves, fruits, flowers, varieties of energy are required to perform various activities within the creation. And to give another example, in a machine made of iron, all the parts are made of iron, but the machine includes varied activities. Although the whole machine is iron, one part works in one way and the other part works in another way. And one who does not know how the machine is working, he may say that everything is iron. But in spite of being iron, the machine has different elements, all working differently for different purposes. And like this, here Krishna's power is also varied, and thus the same Shakti or the potency works in different ways, Vividha, in various varieties. But there is unity in variety. Thus, Yogamaya and Mahamaya are among the varied individual parts of the same one potency. And all these individual potencies work in their own varied way. And then we have learnt about the Samavit, Sandhini and Ladini potencies of the Lord, Krishna's potency for existence, his potency for knowledge and his potency for pleasure. They are distinct from Yogamaya, and each is an individual potency. And Ladini is the Srimati Radharani. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is this Ladini Shakti is described as it manifests as Radharani, but Krishna and Radharani are the same, although one is potent and the other is potency. If we read the commentaries of the acharyas and before that commentaries of Srila Prabhupada, his purports in the Srimad Bhagavatam, then the understanding becomes more clear. If we only read the Acharya's commentary, we may not understand. But in conjunction with Srila Prabhupada's commentary, that is the purports, if we read, then things become more clear. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Are there any questions, comments? So
प्रभु जी ये लीला से हमें क्या सीखना है अच्छे से कौन से पॉइंट्स
Good question.
We should be very humble.
Yes.
Or surrender. उन्होंने जब भी मालूम पड़ गया ब्रह्मा जी को कि ये तो भगवान ही पर ब्रह्म है, तो इवन सरेंडरेंस, कंप्लीट सरेंडरेंस कर दिया आपने।
क्या होता है कि मोर ऑफन भगवान हमारे हमारे सामने भी आएंगे ना तो हम पहचान नहीं पाएंगे भगवान को। ब्रह्मा जी की यही हालत हुई ना। He is very difficult to understand. Even when he comes in front of us, sometimes we don't, more often than not, we may not even recognize him. Here, that is what only when Krishna desires himself, then only we can understand him. So, as a devotee,
by his mercy only, right?
Yeah. So, as a devotee, we should be always in that kind of humble mood that whenever he gives us the qualification to see him. Unless and until he gives that qualification, we cannot even expect that. So we just keep praying, chanting, and it's up to him, if and when we become qualified, That's what my realization of this thing. जैसे ब्रह्मा जी जैसे इतने इतने महान व्यक्ति है भगवान, ये ब्रह्मा जी, इनकी हालत तो हमारी तो क्या क्या कुछ हिसाब में नहीं है।
और इससे हमें ये स्पष्ट मालूम पड़ता है कि हम अपनी बुद्धि लगा के भगवान को नहीं समझ सकते, हम अपनी बुद्धि को नहीं लगा सकते। जैसे ब्रह्मा जी ने भी बोला कि मैं नहीं समझ सकता भगवान को, अपने इंटेलिजेंस को यूज करके मैं नहीं समझ सकता, है ना माता प्रभु जी?
Absolutely, absolutely. And Krishna really looking for that kind of humility. वही तो प्रभुपाद कहते हैं ना, जब 13th chapter प्रभुपाद अपने purport में कहता है कि out of the 20 qualities, first quality that we develop as a devotee is becoming humble. Because when we realize everything is Krishna, everything is given to us, nothing is of our own, that kind of realization must take place,
अनन्या भक्ति होना चाहिए, अनन्या भक्ति, डिवोशन टू अप टू एक्सट्रीम, blind faith.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Okay, I think we are almost time. So I think it's better we conclude the class. So let's conclude the class with Nashima prayer.
Archana Mataji, please do.
Namaste Narasimhaya Pralhadalhadayine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankanakalaya Ito Nasimha Parato Nasimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Nasimha Bahir Nasimha Hrudaye Nasimha Nasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade Tava Kara Kamala Varena Kamadut Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubinda केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, ऑल डिवोटीज की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो।
Thank you very much. Thank you all also for your time and patience. So wonderful, wonderful. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have the first demo. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandat pranam. Dandat pranam, Archana Mataji. Sab devotees.
दंड प्रणाम माता जी, शरद प्रभु जी, दंड प्रणाम।
Thank you, Mataji. Well done job. Thank you, Sharad Prabhuji, Sanjeev Prabhuji, Prasad Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
हरि बोल।